Danny Glover, Fight Fan TV Live. Welcome to the Fight Fan TV Takedown. So that's going to be the name of these lives going forward. What I do need to do, I need to lock in a specific regular time for you guys, because I know I just post some sporadic times. Sometimes even the neutral corner shows, they drop at any given day. I need an allotted time to let you guys know and get more organized. So going forward, that is something that I will improve on. It's not something even anybody's even said. It's just something that I've taken note of myself, because I notice other channels, they have allotted times, man, because you guys have there's a lot of content creators, good content creators out there. You can't just, at the drop of a whim, I've got to show, I've got to let you guys know that what's coming up, and yeah, I've got to give you more structure and organization. So I will do that, and Lex will also be doing that as well. So yeah, but welcome. So yeah, there's been a lot going on this week. Oh, by the way, the next episode of the Neutral Corner will be dropping on. I'll do that tomorrow for you guys. That will be Courtney Bennett. So that will be dropping on Bank Holiday Monday for you guys. I'm working tonight, so after the show, so I'm only going to have an hour because I've got to do some bodyguard duties straight after this. So after that, I will be going off to bodyguard duties. But when I wake up, I will upload it. So expect that in the early afternoon, probably about 1. And then yeah, got some more guests coming on in the near future, well, very soon. So yeah, look out for those other episodes of the Neutral Corner coming up. Shout out to the sponsor, Treasure Boxing Club, Ashley Fftv, big up. Obviously I've got my TMT hat as well, but this is separate. I got this on the TMT website years ago, but as we all know, Ashley Fftv was part of the TMT, and obviously he reps Britain as well, so good little combo. But it wasn't even planned, actually. This is just going underneath the hoodie I'm going to be wearing later on. But yeah, enough about that. Yeah, let's get into the takedown. So my takes on what transpired over this week in boxing, and other news in general. So I've put down things that I'd like to talk about. I can't get through everything because I've only got like about an hour or under. So yeah, first things first, welcome everybody. Shout out to Pugilist Tony. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. Hope all's well, brother. So yeah, we start off in Japan. So with the Japan card, we had Shinshiro Taraji. 1 second. So it's been a mad one as well, yeah. During last week, the hot water went to get the boiler man out. It was all a madness. Now my little one, he's just got chicken pox, so he's got the high temperature and all that type of stuff, crying a lot, but he's pulling through. And it's funny enough, he just popped up straight after did a training session with him on Good Friday, and then bam, it's just popped up straight afterwards. I don't know if that brought it out or what, but yeah, man, it was a mad one. But yeah, let's talk about the Japan card that was on Ken Shiraji. That was yesterday afternoon, funny enough. So yeah, that was a good one. Well, it started off in the morning. I was so big up to Tony Pugilist. He was asking about it, and then we all like tuned in. Me, Tony Pugilist, Base the Kid, and some other guys and stuff. So yeah, that was a good card. So let's go with some of the bouts that the main ones that we managed to watch. So there was Jin Saki. Yep. So he that was his that was yeah, he was 13 he was 13 1-1, and he knocked out a guy I've never heard of called Kiti Obara. So yeah, that was a big boy knockout though. The way he threw like this winging hook, and he just laid him out. That was a knockout of the year contender, because that was a big hook early on in the card. To be fair, I didn't get to watch all of that fight because I was trying to find the channel, because I went through. I knew it was on the zone. Well, I got told it was on the zone, so I went through my normal the zone, couldn't find it. Then I went through the zone Canada, couldn't find it. Went through the zone Italy, couldn't find it. Then who is it? Someone told me it was either Pugilist or Base the Kid, who told me it was on the zone Spain. So I had to go through. I had to go through something. I had to some Spanish channels, and I managed to find it. So I only just caught like the ending of that one. But yeah, that was a good knockout. That was a good knockout from him. Um, Takuma Inui, who we know is Naoya Inui's brother. Normally he always kind of gets the brunt end. Normally gets on his brother's cards, or he does like undercards of other people. Um, and yeah, it was good for him to finally um, get his world title. His brother's been cleaning up, pound for pounder, and he's gone for the WBA World Bantamweight title, a title that his brother vacated. He was fighting Liborio Solis, and yeah, he boxed very well. It was some people feel that the scorecards was closer than they was. Um, I thought it was about right. It was, it was a decent performance. He boxed well, good counters. He looks exactly like his brother facially. I've seen him fight a few times, but he's even got the haircut going on as well. But I was very proud of him, and the way his brother awarded him the belt afterwards, that was very nice. That was very touching. So he's finally stepped out his brother's shadow. He's got his own world title belt, because normally, when the brother, they normally never, like the Hatton brothers, Ricky Hatton, Matthew Hatton, um, and then yeah, normally they don't, even sons. They never get their own world title, to put on their mantelpiece. So it's good that he's finally got it. And yeah, I was wondering, you know, looking at him in general, I didn't think like a couple of years ago, I didn't think he would be a world champion, but he's improved, and yeah, man, he's done his thing. So well done to him, man. Can't knock him. Kiko Martinez lost to Rhea Abbey. I missed that fight completely. I haven't even watched any highlights or anything of that. I haven't had time, but he lost on UD, so that mashed up my accumulator. Um, but yeah, he got beat wide on points. I don't even know who's watched it. I think Base caught it, but I didn't get to because I couldn't find the channel. So that was mad early on the card, even though they build it as like main event on box rate, but that was mad early on the card. Um, but yeah, we go to the main event of Kinshiro Taraji versus Anthony Olasquiaga. Now, this was a good fight. Now, Kenshiro Taraji, he's always got a habit of being in, good entertaining fights. He was putting the pressure on early, you know, backing up Anthony Oluskaga. He looked like he was going to take him out in, because this ended in the ninth round, but he looked like he was going to take him out in about what, the seventh, and then all of a sudden, Hollis Karga started throwing these uppercuts towards the end of the round, and then I was like, that's interesting, because he looked like he was about to be stopped not too long just before that in the round. Then in round 8, Hollis Karga um, Taraji, and in the ninth round, in the ninth, and then Kenshiro Taraji, that he's just come back, kind of like the last fight where it was like, yeah, the round before he stopped the guy. I forgot the guy's name. He was getting punched up, and that was seen as like a round of the year type thing. But yeah, the same thing happened. Taking big shot, looking like he's in a bit of trouble there. Then all of a sudden he just unleashed some combination against the rope. Bam, 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 bam. Bam. The guy's holding onto the rope like that. Step holding on me, jump, no, in on me, and then yeah, the ref stopped it because he got punched out the ropes and he was trying to hold himself. And then when the ref waved it off, he kind of collapsed. Like he just thought, oh man, just kind of fell, just laid down. It didn't fall out of the ring, but he fell out of the ring, but not out of the apron, thankfully. So yeah, another one for Kenshiro Taraji. He's a very exciting fighter. He's gonna make a lot of money and do big things out in Japan. I wonder if he's got anyone over here he can fight and stuff like that. Bantamweights. Let me see. Who's he got? No, he's not even a bantamweight. What am I talking about? He's a light flyweight. Light fly. But he's number one. But who's he even got? I'm trying to even think who he can fight. I don't even know none of these names. Or Esteban Bermudez, but he's like number 12. There's no Brits. There's no Brits in sight. No Brits in sight. Yeah, there's no Brits. There's no Brits around here. He's got another Japanese guy, Masamichi Yabuki. Japan's doing quite well. They've got Jonathan Gonzalez. They've got Reggie Suganov from Philippines. Daniel Matalon from Cuba. Not heard of him, but he's 13, 0 and 2, 35 years old though. That's old for a light fly. But yeah, I don't really know the names of these light fly guys, apart from one, but he's not even ranked very high. Um, yeah, and he's 14, 4 and 2. So yeah, he's gonna dominate, and he'll probably just move up anyway. So yeah, that's probably gonna be that type of thing. So yeah, moving on to the zone card now. What I don't like, which I agree with Tony, they've done this twice in a row to us now, where they put on the main events at the exact same time. Like we had the top rank and the zone, and it's like, come on, guys, you've got to stagnate them. You've got to, you know, you've got to filter them and have it one after the other. Like hold off a bit on that main event and wait till the other main event's done, and then put on at the exact same time. Normally, normally we didn't have this problem, especially we didn't have this problem last year. It's like this year, people are just getting real selfish, man. It's not good. Because I didn't even get to watch. I caught the Bam Rodriguez fight in round 8, which is what I'm saying. Because I was watching the Shakur Stevenson fight. So I'm not gonna be jumping in and out, in and out. Once I choose a fight, I'm choosing the fight in it. So actually, I'll just give you the top rank one because that's the one I read. That's the one I watched. I watched some of the zone card fights, depending which one was better at the time because it was running back to back simultaneously. So let me get to the yeah. I might as well start with the main event. To be fair, might as well start with the main event. With Shakur Stevenson against Shuichiro Yoshino from Japan. Now, I initially thought that this would go to points. Um, Shakur Stevenson moving up in weight to 135. Some people saying, because he's bigger, he's going to have even more power, more strength. I was just thinking, first fight, testing the waters, he might get hit with something, go into pure boxer mode. But then some people on the Twitter spaces were saying they think he's going to be aggressive, try and prove a point. He's got to make a statement at 135 if he wants to call out the likes of Devin Haney, Tank, and the rest of those guys. So I was just thinking it was going to be a points thing, but he come out mad aggressive from the jump, like he was playing no games. Yeah, and he managed to drop. He dropped Yoshino in the second round. He dropped him in the second round. He dropped him in the. He dropped him in the fourth round again. And these shots, they wasn't even like, to me, they didn't look like the biggest of shots, to be fair, what that was dropping him. But he was kind of, but he was taking a beating though. He was taking a beating. So I think it's a thing of an accumulation of shots that broke him down, and that's what was making him drop. And then in the sixth round, he was getting punched up again, and it got rightfully stopped. There was a guy on the Twitter space. He predicted 4-6. He had a bet on that, and he got it through. He got through it. So he got him. I forgot. I think his name was Turning. But yeah, he done well. That was a good win. Big statement. Obviously, he's calling out Devin Haney afterwards. Yeah, and we'll see where he goes from there. I'm sure he will get elevated to get a title shot soon. Hold on. Got a comment. Yep, big up Tony, man. Love every time. Who else was on the card? We had Keyshawn Davis versus Anthony Yigit. That was a very good performance. That was a good build up to the fight at the press conference when he was like, "Can you dig it, Yigit?" Yeah, so that was good. He's got some attitude, even when Gerard Anderson was doing his face off against George Arias. He was like just talking a lot of smack. And he's small. I could spar him. Even Gerard Anderson's just like saying, "Oh, shut up, man. I'm trying to concentrate on my face off." So that was good. But yeah, he come out. He remind. You can definitely see he's got that Omaha, Nebraska style. You can definitely see that he gets trained by what's his name? Oh, the big, the big, massive guy. Terence Crawford's coach, Bo Mack. So yeah, you can definitely see that with the style. Even the way his face, his hair looks, it's kind of Denzel Bentley-ish, but yeah, he was using a lot of good straight shots. Then he started to hold on, yeah, Bo Mack. Then he started to get on the inside. He showed a lot of good chin, a lot of grit, determination, but he was getting marked up, swollen, battered. You know, he got dropped with a big body shot as he come inside. He slipped underneath a shot of Yigit. Boom! He hit him with one before, which kind of hurt him. Yigit looked to the ref. I remember he looked at the ref like it was some kind of low blow or hit on the break, and the commentator was like, "You got to protect yourself at all times." And he backed up, started getting hit again. But then he tried to throw a shot. What's it? Keyshawn slipped underneath, boom, right in the solar plexus. Down went Yigit, and that was it at the end of the round actually, and that kind of saved him. That got him through the round. And then people, I was thinking, could the corner stop it? He's probably a man who's going to demand it not be stopped. And then round 9, they come out more of the same really. Keyshawn Davis teeing off, hit him with a combination. It didn't actually even move Yigit, to be fair. His feet were planted. He didn't move back, but it was a thing of where the ref had seen, he'd seen enough. He'd seen enough. It was one-way traffic. He was never going to come back from it, and it just started. It was just pasted mode in it. So the ref just rightly stopped it. There was a couple of mad stoppages yesterday, though. There was one in particular by that Ramon. Well, actually, I don't think it was mad. The people online was protesting. I remember this yesterday. Actually, people were protesting online on Twitter, but I thought it was fair. That fight. Let me remind myself what fight it was actually. This was. No, it wasn't Gerard Anderson. This was. Yeah, this was. Yeah, this was Thomas Matisse versus Ramiro Cecino. This was on the DAZN card actually. I know I'm skipping over, but this was no. See, here we go. See, previously saying Matisse was bad. It wasn't, man. It wasn't. You're just no. I'm gonna tell you why. Now, what's his name? Ramiro Cecino. He was winning the fight. Yeah, he was winning the fight. But what happened in the last round? Now he's got hurt. He's got clipped. His body's like jumped. He's gone back to the rope. So he's got hit with another hook, which has made him like he's really hurt. Then he's getting teed off on the rope. He's not firing punches back. He's not he should have took a knee, but he didn't take a knee. So the ref had no choice, in my opinion. That was so many unanswered punches. Like even Rob Tebbett agreed with me. Rob Tebbett even agreed. And a guy called Davey 11. He said correct. He took 27 shots without throwing back. He forced the referee's hand, man. Yeah, Cena was winning. Yeah, but that's just like saying, oh, Jermaine Taylor shouldn't have got stopped versus Carl Froch because Jermaine Taylor was winning. And there was only like 14 seconds left. He got stopped. He was done, man. Cecina was winning handedly, and he was never. He was, and maybe he wasn't. He wasn't finished like Jermaine Taylor was, yeah. But there was a minute and a half to go. It weren't like it was 10 seconds or 20 seconds left. It was 90 seconds left, and he's not thrown back. And it's just and he was hurt. And he wasn't thrown back. He didn't even try to throw like a little jab back. What he should have done, he should have took a knee, and that would have spared him some time. And then he could have danced around a bit and survived and got the W easily. But sometimes people's pride, or when they are troubled, when they are hurt, they're not thinking straight on what they should do next. Do you know what I mean? He was getting hit clean, and it was unanswered. So I thought it was fair, but that was a controversial stoppage nonetheless. That most people think it was a bad stoppage, but I'm on the side of that. I thought that he forced the rest hand, and it's unfortunate. He should if he can get a rematch. I think he'll win the rematch. Uh, what's his name? Cecina. So yeah, man, it is what it is. But yeah, he just forced the ref's hand at the end of the day. Another that and that was in the final round. Another one in the final round stoppage was Damien Neba. I don't know how you pronounce the surname. It's Knyba. He was an Eastern European guy, and he was fighting Curtis Harper, who had some proper man boobs. Boy, he looked like a new school Tony Tubbs. That's who he looked like. He looked like a new school TNT Tony Tubbs. But Curtis Harper, he was doing good. He was landing some big hooks, but he was not in good shape. And yeah, once he started getting tired, he needs to work on his shape and conditioning. And he could have probably won that fight, but he got tired. Damon Kaniba, he just started pouring on big hooks. He dropped him in the final round, and then he hit him again as he got up. He turned away, spat his gum shield out. Harvey Dock, he had no choice but to stop the fight. And some people even complained about that one. I was like, come on, the man turned away, man. He was not on it. He even put his hand out, like he turned away, spat it out. He gave up there. He weren't on it. Also, in other news, Edgar Berlanga, he's announced his fight got announced in the ring by Eddie Hearn. He's fighting Jason Quigley. I don't know if you remember Jason Quigley. He's a middleweight, and he got stopped. He got stopped by Demetrius Andrade, starters boy. So yeah, that's a bring out party. I know Base the Kid's raging. He's saying, because they was hinting that he was going to be a top 15 guy. So he's gone through the official rankings on Boxing Live probably, and he thought it was going to be Anthony Durrell or Andre Durrell brothers. I remember Base saying, but and I thought it was going to be the Brazilian Falco, but no. Lo and behold, they went through the box rec top 15, and they've chosen Jason Quigley. So yeah, this is a nice little bring out party for Edgar Berlanga, who's been off a year, due to his suspension for the biting. Um, so yeah, he's gonna get. I expect him to get the stoppage. I expect him to get the stoppage, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Tone. Quigley's a joke. Yeah, man. Well, it is where it is, isn't it? They got to bring him out. They've just signed him. What are you going to do? Give him a hard fight? Anthony Dirrell's not. He got knocked out in his last fight, but I don't think he's cooked like that. I don't think he's cooked like that to get taken out by Edgar Berlanga. You got to remember, Caleb Plant is a proper super middle, and yeah, he's a proper fighter, man. He's proper. So, and he even hurt Caleb Plant a couple times in there when Anthony Dirrell. And I don't think, I think Unde Dirrell, even though he's up there in years, I still believe he'd beat Edgar. So I wouldn't recommend that fight. So Jason Quigley is, no one's really happy, but it is what it is. That's announced for the Madison Square Garden, June 24th. I'm not sure who's on that card. I thought that they was gonna probably put it on the your boy Tiafimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor's card, which is June the 10th. But nope, it's not. Gerard Anderson versus George Arias. Now, this guy, he's from the Dominican Republic. He has a good reputation, actually. People don't really know about him, but I'm going to go through because I was looking at his record. I've seen him fight a couple of times, actually. Remember, he stopped one guy, but the guy weren't there to fight, really. But his last three opponents, he was the B side, and he was expected to get beat, and he beat them. So he was 18-0 coming in, 7 KOs. Yeah, he beat Alante Green, Cassius Chaney, yep, Joel Claudy, yeah, Gabriel Hernandez was another 10-0 guy. Terrell Wright. So yeah, he's a good fighter. Who was it? Yeah? If you remember, Cassius Chaney, he beat him on points. He was unbeaten, and he beat Shondell Winters. I don't know if you remember him. He fought Joseph Parker, and also he beat there was another guy. Yeah, Alante Green. He fought, no, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. But also with George Arias, he's got a huge amateur pedigree as well. Actually, he boxed with Dominican Republic, and he fought some good names in the amateurs. To be fair, but I can't quite hold on. I'm trying to find the fighter he fought. But anyways, he was a good fighter, unbeaten. But Gerard Anderson, he proved too much in the because his last 5 fights had ended in the second round. So people think I didn't think he could do that. Some people distance. I had it as a TKO. I knew you'd get rid of him, but Arias, he is a good mover, good on his feet. And also for I think Gerard Anderson, for a guy who's 247 pounds, he doesn't look that big because he's 6'4", so he's 2 inches shorter than Anthony Joshua. But when you look at them both, Anthony Joshua, even when he weighs like 247, he looks a lot like bigger and slower and more, more pumped and stiff than Gerard Anderson for some reason. I know his last fight he was 255, but when you look at Gerard Anderson, you think for a guy who's 247, he doesn't look like he's too heavy. Like even Fabio Wardley's too. I'm sure he's the same height as Gerard Anderson as well. But Gerard carries his weight very well. So yeah, but the third round he started lighting up George Arias, and then Arias he done some kind of salsa rumba kind of move, and then yeah, he started trying to play. He was trying to act like he wasn't hurt, like he's trying to showboat, but he was hurt. His legs were wobbling, and the bell went, and he started banging his chest, due into the crowd, but he was still rocked. And then for some reason, his corner just pulled him out. He didn't even go down or anything, so that was a bit disappointing. He had like a little bit of facial damage, but nothing to write home about. So I don't know why they pulled the plug on that. That was a bit of a upsetting one. That was a bit annoying. But Gerard Anderson, he moves on. People are calling for him to step up even more now. So he's got rid of Jerry Forrest in 2, George Arias in 3, and I was saying that my opinion is I don't think that there's a lot of top 10 heavyweights who couldn't get rid of Jerry Forrest in 2 and George Arias in 3. You know, I don't think Dillian White could do that. I don't think he could do it in that time, let alone beat that time. I don't think Joseph Parker could beat that time or do or match that time for both of them. I don't think Tyson Fury could even get rid of them two that quickly. Um, yeah, there's lots of sort of top 10 heavyweights where I don't think they'd be getting rid of Jerry Forrest and um, and George Arias in 2 and 3 rounds, man. But Gerard Anderson did. Usyk, I don't think he'd get rid of them both like in that quick. Um, Daniel Dubois, I don't think he'd get rid of him that quick. Derek Chisora, well, Derek Chisora's outside the top 10 to be fair. And Frank Sanchez as well. I don't know if you lot saw that fight, but that guy, why did this guy just dive on the floor? The guy, Frank didn't even hit. For one, Frank was moving mad old. He was looking mad old. Like, he's not 29 years old or whatever that fake age is. He's way old. His face is old. He looks older. But he didn't hit the guy. He missed the punch and the guy went on the floor. I was just like, what's up with that? That's just stupidness. Frank's been out the ring long enough, and the guy just dived on Daniel Martz in the first round. So that guy needs investigating. He definitely needs his purse docked because that was just stupidness. Anderson is now surely Anderson is surely going to now be put into live fight situations. Well, to be fair, Jerry Forrest was meant to be a live fight. Jerry Forrest is a live opponent. Um, but he took him out in 2. I've never seen anybody do that to him. George Arias was unbeaten. Yeah, some people might say he's not a light fight, but yeah, I'd like to see him in with well, I wouldn't like to see him with Derek Chisora because we know what's gonna happen there, he'll beat him. Um, but he could get in there with someone like Dillian White. Well, as we know, Dillian White, they're trying to look for that for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has announced also that he's gonna be back out in December. I see some people moaning, um, they're not fighting like the old heavyweights back in the day, like every few. All right, man. But for one, the reason I said that because he said something about sometimes there's a bigger plan. So what I'm reading into it is he must have got injured in that fight of some sort. I don't know if it's to do with his nose injury or because he was bleeding in the changing room. I remember when they went to the screen and he's like, there was blood on his vest. I thought that was strange. I didn't know what that was. I didn't even know it was from his nose. I thought it was maybe his hands or something because I know he normally. I remember when he was on the Breakfast Club, his hands was always mashed up. So I don't know if he's a man when he gets angry, punches walls and stuff like that. But so I was thinking that was strange. But yeah, it must be an injury that he has to get sorted. Might have to go in for surgery. Um, why his next return date? Because he was meant to come back in the summer. So yeah, I guess it must be an injury, or some people speculating that he's just going to go into a massive big fight on in December. But it can't be if it's going to be a stadium fight. Then that's going to have to be the Principality Stadium because Wembley, December. That's a bit risky weather-wise. Tottenham Hotspur. Is that an open roof or a closed roof? Some of my football people. I know pugilists. You'd know. Is that a closed roof or open roof? White Hart Lane. It might be close, so he might be able to do Tottenham. Otherwise, it'd have to be Principality because Wembley ain't gonna happen. But yeah, but I think it's more. I think it's to do with an injury. The way he wrote that statement um, on his page, it sounds like an injury. Why he's had to go down that road. Um, Leon Edwards is due to fight Kobe Covington next. I hope Leon mashes him up because the UFC crowd at 287, White Hart can close and open. That's good. Okay, so it could be there. So yeah, they was chanting some madness. There was had some MAGA moments, shouting and yelling, "Let's go, Brandon!" with Trump in the crowd. So yeah, Leon needs to deal with Kobe. Um, Style Bender, Israel Adesanya onto the UFC. Now, this was good against Alex Pereira. Now, Alex Pereira was 3-0 against Israel Adesanya, 2 in kickboxing. One of it, the first one was by decision. The second time he knocked him out cold. His son even mocked him, dropping on the floor. Um, and then the he's come over to UFC. He stopped Israel Adesanya in the last round as Israel Adesanya was winning on points. So this was the rematch. Um, People's thinking, is Israel done? Because he has a habit of being very boring, just doing enough to win, not exciting. Um, so yeah, but Alex, he kind of forces you to fight. The low leg kicks was hurting Israel early. Well, it was only a 1 round fight to be fair, but early in the round, should I say? Then he caught him with another leg kick. He backed up. He let off a couple of punches, body shots, kneed him in the body, hit him but as he was throwing, he was so open, Alex. Like he had uh no regard for defense. Like he just thought that Israel was so done or was so scared of him that nothing was going to get thrown back. So Israel just come over the top, bam, right and over the top. Um, Caught him on the chin, which has kind of stunned him. He's looked back, then he's hit him on the sort of like the side of the head, sort of temple, ear bit. Then he's gone down, and then hammer fist, bam, all over 1 round. Israel, he started, doing this shotgun thing, shotgun 3 times because that's Alex Pereira's thing, and he starts shouting ah, and then he's gone over to his son and seen his son, and then done the one phone call it takes the word to the drop, don't flap, poof, like Cat Swayze does, yeah. So that was a mocking thing, but he said afterwards that hurt him and really affected him when his son did that when he was like really little back in the kickboxing days. So I don't know how old the boy is now. He must be a lot older because that footage did look quite old from the kickboxing days. Uh, Tottenham pitch is retractable, not the roof, only open. Oh, yeah, it's Principality, or I don't know where the December show one is going to be. Oh yeah, Abu Dhabi. There's always that as well. Middle East, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and all that. Saudi Arabia as well. What am I talking about? Joshua's done 2 Saudi Arabia cards already. So yeah, somewhere in the Middle East he could go if it ain't Principality Stadium. But I think it's an injury. But yeah, it'll be a big fight anyway. So yeah, Israel Adesanya, 1 round, UFC champion again, and yeah, I'm sure they'll run it back for the third, which will be their 5th fight overall, but will be the trilogy. But once again, as I say, UFC, they reload the dryer. People talk about boxing, boxing's dead. I'm like, mate, this is why the best fight. Reload the dryer. Every time it's reloads, man. It's always reload, reload. It's always reloads. It's always rematches, trilogies, quadruples. This is their 5th fight. It's going to be the trilogy. We know it's going to be a trilogy because one in UFC, but it's what 3-1 overall. But yeah, we know they're going to reload the dryer again. So don't give me. Some people need to, don't get so gassed on the UFC thing, man. There's enough reloads. In other news, Yeah, no. Chantel Cameron. I feel really bad for Ellie Scotney because she's been taken off the Chantel Cameron, Katie Taylor fight. Um, some people are saying that, well, Chantel's put out a statement. Um, if I can find it, I should be able to find it actually. She did put out a statement the other day. Oh, also before I do, um, I should have done it on my last live because I actually found out on the day of the last live last week. But rest in peace to the legend himself in boxing, Ken Buchanan, MBE, the undisputed, former undisputed lightweight champion. It was good to see him, live long enough to see another man from his country and Josh Taylor do it. You know what I mean? Pass the torch. Gave him the keys to the kingdom. So yeah, man, Ken Buchanan, legend, big in the game, great fights. One of his most memorable ones is when he got hit in the balls, man. They always show that fight. I don't know why they always show that fight when he got hit in the balls. I don't know why they always show that one, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, he had a lot of great fights for Roberto Duran. A lot of good guys, man. What was I getting into? Sorry about the Chantel Cameron thing. So shall I read Chantel's one or first or Shane McGuigan's? All right, let me find Chantel's one first. I'll read it out for you guys. Some of you might not even read it. Well, actually, I'll read Ellie's first. Yeah. So Ellie Scotney, I'm incredibly disappointed to say that I am now hearing that I will be removed from the May 20th card in Dublin due to Chantel Cameron and her management insisting to the promoter that I'm not allowed to be on me. This is despite having been on two cards together before with no problems whatsoever. By the way, I should mention that not only has Ellie Scotney been on cards with Chantel Cameron, Shane McGuigan has had other fighters who he's trained, where he's in the vicinity, be on cards with Chantel Cameron also. So, yeah, but I'll continue. After my world title fight had been announced on a huge night globally for women's boxing, my dream is now being taken away from me by a fellow fighter, dictating terms and making unreasonable demands to my promoter. I cannot describe how heartbroken I am. Yeah. So that's Ellie Scotney's statement. Then Chantel Cameron has come back like a day later, and she's put out a statement of her own, and it reads, I'm gutted to have to come on here and write this today, but I've had no option after the statement that was issued last night and the harassment, obviously alluding to Ellie's statement, threats and witch hunt that came after. Firstly, I am sorry that Ellie feels the way she does. I respect her as a fighter and I wish the situation was different. But as female fighters who always have to work harder to prove ourselves, I would have hoped that she would have understood the situation and how important our mental health is going into fights like these, especially as the away fighter in Dublin, where Katie is hailed as a national treasure. The last thing I need is more intimidation. Yes, I am a fighter, but I am human. A few years ago, I was almost walking away from the sport I love because of what I went through with my team and was not in a good mental or physical place at all. I cannot begin to describe how horribly I was treated, and it's a part of my life that I want to try and forget. Unfortunately, due to a NDA, non-disclosure agreement, forced upon me, I can't disclose any of the details of this, which is why, oh my God, which is why I've never told the story. I have worked so hard since that point to put this behind me, to grow from it, to find my confidence again, to feel positive, to fall back in love with this amazing sport and surround myself with people that want to look after me. and always put my best interest at heart. Ellie is right when she said that she has fought on the same cards as me before, but on those occasions, only the people closest to me know what I went through because of this, and did what was necessary and positive, and not let that affect my mindset and my performance, despite the emotions it triggered. So it brings me to this point where I am in the biggest fight of my life, and I have worked hard towards for all these years. It has not been an easy road, and it has not been an easy decision for my team to make. But they have to protect me in this situation. I have to protect myself. I'm sorry this impacts Ellie. This is not about her. And even though I don't appreciate being publicly bullied and shamed into trying to change the decision last night, I really do wish her well moving forward, and know that there are other big opportunities around the corner for her. It's not in my nature to air my grievances or emotions in public, and I would never have mentioned anything about this, especially on social media, but feels like I've been left with no choice but to defend myself, having been attacked for trying to protect myself. This is the last thing I'll be saying on this matter, and will continue to fully focus on training and the mammoth fight ahead. So that was from Chantel. Then Shane McGuigan, he put out a statement afterwards as well. So I'm doing all this so you guys can, just get the some full, transparency and clarity. I'm so disappointed that Ellie is caught in the crossfire. This is by Shane, by the way, by the demands of Chantel's team, preventing Ellie's dream world title shot, previously announced on the homecoming card of her idol, i.e. Katie Taylor. I reject Chantel's suggestions about her treatment. We were sad to lose Chantel from our gym, and we've always wished her all the best at the time she left. In the same period as four other boxers who all joined the same organization, we did things through the correct channels. The British Boxing Board of Control had a hearing in relation to what she claimed and confirmed that Chantel had no justification for walking away from our management. I've never spoken about Chantel's situation, and I'm only doing it now because she repeated damaging and false accusations. Ellie and Chantel have fought on two cards before with no issues. We're confused that this is now being given as the reason to pull Ellie's fight off the card, and we suspect that other forces are involved with this, which is so unfair on Ellie. I would never do something to affect the mental health of any fighter. I have suffered immeasurable grief and sadness in my life and had my own mental health struggles. I will fight tooth and nail for my female fighters, and I am proud to currently train and manage two of the best in the world. I hope that a solution, Caroline Dubois, by the way, I hope that a solution can be found with Eddie and Matchroom for Ellie's sake to get her the dream fight that she thought was right in front of her. I'll be making no further comment on this. So yeah, so this is hold on. Oh no. Yeah. So this is on the back of that situation. Now, when you're talking about other forces, they're talking about you know, Chantel Cameron, who's been involved with, MTK. She's got Jamie Moore. We know that he's had a situation where he was shot. And then there's another guy, forgot the Irish guy's name. Base the Kid mentioned his name the other day, but yeah, I knew there's him. And if you guys remember that on the documentary about a guy who has his first name is the same as my government first name. If you know, you know. In DK Donkey Kong. Um, yeah, but yeah, his first name is my first name. So if you know, you know. But he got testified against by Barry McGuigan, Cyclone, um, about some underworld activities. So especially it being held in Ireland, Northern Ireland, Ireland. There's that little thingy as well. Um, yeah, I think that there was something a bit more nefarious and going on there that was pushed to get Ellie, but not necessarily Ellie, but to get Shane McGuigan pushed off the card, They could have had him in a separate hotel and made certain measures which people have discussed on other videos. But yeah, they just didn't want Shane involved in the show really on the card, and unfortunately, Ellie's been caught in the crossfire of this, and she's having to lose out. But I think it is down to that. I see some people caping on Twitter. You know, these are the same people though who are on the books, shall we say? They're on the books. I ain't mad at you. I know you got to pay your mortgage, you got to pay your rent, you got to pay your bills, you got to pay your car notes, you got to pay that finance. I know, so it's all right. But yeah, man, I think it was one of them. I think it was one of them. I think it's to do with that. I think it's to do with um um the guy whose name is the same name as mine. Yeah, it's to do with that. It's to do with the Daniel guy. It's to do with Daniel, isn't it? Daniel. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you know, I think it's to do with that. I think there's something behind that. And that trainer guy, I forgot the guy's name. Is it Paddy or Patrick something? Forgot the name. Someone put it in the comments for me. Um, but yeah, also Amir Khan got busted. How long have I got? I've got about 5 minutes. And I've got to go to work. So yeah, Amir Khan busted for Osterine. He say first of all, people saying they only found out on the day, but if then he said that he knew 9 months after, which means with the fight was in February, so he would have known in November. So then that's another 5 months. He didn't say anything, but I guess when you're retired, you're not going to say nothing anyway. Um, why that's now been publicized now, I don't know. But the ban gets backdated anyway, so really he's got March, April. So he's got like 10 months left on a ban. I doubt he's going to come back anyway. What I think happened, because a lot of people are thinking what happened. Dominic Ingle, I think it's like what Dominic Ingle said, but I've said this before. You see, with a lot of these fighters now, too many cooks spoil the broth. So when you're in these training camps, but I don't even think it was in the training camp. But even when you're in the training camp, so you're in the training camps, even on the day of the fight, you got these nutritionists, you've got these what do you call it? Strength and conditioning coaches, you've got these physios. They give you these drinks, they give you these sachets of things, these little sachet supplement things. They give you these other things, like even in your changing room. They go, yeah, yeah, this is gonna get your electrolytes up, and this is gonna get your energy boosted, and this is gonna get you this and that, and this is gonna get you that. Take this, go on, get it down your neck, man. Get it down your neck. And these fighters, they just they just do it. They don't even look. They ain't got time to be looking at the back and you know all these words like Exarian, blah, 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 Osterine, blah, 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 and checking it on the database on the UCAD system and the VADA systems. They ain't got time for all that, especially on fight night. You know what I mean? So they're just trusting. You know, if you've been around this guy for how long, you grow a sense of trust for these people. So when they give you things, you don't even check it over. You don't even second guess it. So you just take the thing. Not saying that the person who gave it to him knew, because that person probably doesn't even look at the list himself, because these guys are just they're more thinking about track stars or what other sports they initially came from. So it might be just cool in there, and the people take it from that discipline, and it works for them, and that's okay on those drug sanctioning body lists. So they just think, oh yeah, yeah, I'll just throw it over to the boxing guys or MMA guys or football boys or whoever they train it, not realizing that different sports have different regulations and different things on their banned substance lists. So he's probably taking that on the day, a sachet or a bottle of energy drinks, probably from another country. I highly doubt it, but it's not going to be Wow Hydrate or Lucozade Sport, is it? It's going to be one of these little new ones, um, or a sachet. It's still the sachets I'm very suspicious about. But fighters, when you're in the changing room, if someone's giving you something, your S&C coach, your nutritionist, your physio, your this, your that, if you ain't sure about it, either have a laptop with you and look up the ingredients on the WADA list or VADA, UCAD, or whatever one you're getting tested by, or just say, nah, nah, I'm all right. Because even that little boost, you can just have like you just have some jelly babies or something like that, some glucose syrup, and you'd be good to go, man. You don't need all these little special brands like to get if you ain't that hyped for a fight and your adrenaline ain't pumping and you ain't trained hard enough, that little sachet is not going to save you on the night anyway. So it's all in your mind. So you don't really need to be doing that. You don't really need to be doing it. So if you ain't confident enough that you think you need this little sachet or this bottle of energy drink on fight night or straight after the weigh-in, then like you're already mentally beat. And Amir Khan took it, but you could see when he was walking to the ring because they caught him in the car park section, remember? And you could see he looked like he was walking. He looked like he was walking to the execution, mate. So he looked so unconfident anyway. So you could see he was scared. Like he was so unconfident. So he probably took the sachet, not even knowing what it was, but he thought, oh, whatever this guy says to me, oh yeah, this is giving me 10%, it's gonna boost me 5%, this is gonna give me this extra strength, and this fast is gonna get your fast twitch muscles back to when you was, 10 years ago. And he's going, oh yeah, really? All right. Bam, necked it. And Austrian was probably in one of them. So that's what I think happened. So it is what it is. Otherwise, he would have got caught during the random drug testing, which was put in place of the fight. And he was saying on a video on IFL that he hadn't been drug tested in it the whole times up to that point he did the interview. So he's wondering why that was. But I'm sure they did after that. But yeah, you just got to be more careful, fighters. Hold on. Skyline editor Danny, did you see Dominic Ingles' interview with Boxing King Media? It was a great insight into the testing pro. Yeah. He always does some great interviews with Boxing King Media. Yeah, he always does that. Breaks down a lot of things. He done one with the Connor one, the Amir Khan one. So yeah, but I've said this before. They have a lot of these guys in their changing room, and they just give them these bottles of stuff and sachets of stuff, and yeah, they don't even look at they don't even look at the ingredients. I don't think even the guys look at the ingredients, and that's what I think is the same thing what happened to Conor Ben. I think one of the people he's hired, because he had so many people, they've given him something, he's just downed it, he's just taking it, and yeah, he's ended up with the thing. I don't think he's intentionally took it. I think someone he's probably trusted has probably given him something, and he's just not checked it over. So a lot of these fighters do. I see it so many times in these pro gyms for years, because you just build up trust with someone. You do how many camps with them, and you're fine. And they go, yeah. Well, there's this new thing on the market. And try this. And I've done some research, and this works for this, and this works for that, and this is and such takes this, and Usain Bolt took this, and Shelly Ann Fraser Price took this, and you think, oh yeah, really, yeah, fast twitches, oh yeah. Not realizing, yeah, for athletics, that might be cool. You might be able to take that. But there's something in there which is on the UCAD ban list. There's something in there which is on the VADA ban list. But in the World Anti-Doping Track and Field Athletics, that's not seen as a PED or a banned substance. So you can't just these people. They're just jack of all trades. They're not really studying this boxing thing on the rules and regulations. So this is how a lot of these fighters get caught out and become a cropper. But guys, I've got to go. I've got bodyguard duties now, so I've got to head to work. Otherwise, I'd have done it probably about another 15 minutes. But yeah, guys, be sure to subscribe to Fight Fan TV Live. I'm on a 800 and some change. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is in August. So please share, subscribe, like, get the traction up. Get in the comment section and comment in the comment section, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the notification bell button, get the algorithms flowing. Hold on. Yeah, peace out, Tony. Yeah, man. Any sponsors who are looking to uh, get involved with us, also hit us up. For the right price. But no, I'm joking. But yeah, share it out, and yeah, man, get in the comment sections and give us your thoughts and opinions. Sorry I couldn't give a more detailed takedown, should I say. We're not trying to copyright Tony Pugilist and Ashley and Base the Kids show, the breakdown. Make sure you check that out though on the Undefeated podcast. But yeah, so sorry I couldn't give a more detailed one, but I was, you know, pushed for time because I've got other obligations to do. As I said, I've got to go to work right now. Little one's got chicken pox as well, so it's all a bit. But I had to get you some content out. Also, look out for the next episode of the Neutral Corner out tomorrow with Courtney Bennett and um, Boxer Donnell Smith as well. So yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in, and remember, persistence beats resistance. You know where it is.